Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a great way to start off tonight's Super Chat. Welcome to our Super Chat here on a Mexican Crossing Lines, 88.1 FM, KPPPLP, Fargo, Moorhead, where we are adding local color to your airwaves. We are also adding new artists to our airwaves, new music, great stuff. We've got a lot of people showing their creativity, and I always think that the expression of all of these different artists, whether it's artwork or it's music, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to listen to all of the ways that people have expressed themselves throughout this process, you know? The woman we're discussing tonight, Paloma Zúñiga, the woman who has gone by the name of Paloma for Trump, has caused a lot of harm. And tonight we are here to expose that on another show in the series of the court-related shows. This one's called Another Court Date.
Yep.
And I'm going to go over a lot of her restraining order activities, her modus operandi, how she does what she does to other people. It's important to note how these persons harass, how they vexatiously litigate, how they are serial litigators, how they retaliate with restraining orders against people who do not want to be stalked by them. And I'm going to show you the ridiculousness of some of the restraining orders she has put onto other people. We're unraveling her lies. Little by little, we're unraveling them. We can see them plainly before us, and so can all of the other victims out there. So can all of the other people that thought that she was a good person, that believed her many stories, her many yarns that she has spun to make people believe she's the victim in all of this, when she has a pattern of harassing people on social media and physically following them, stalking them, per her own words. I've shown you many times this is what she does. So we're going to go through some new evidence that I have today, and I'm going to start off by refuting the idea, refuting the embellishment, I call it delusional thinking, of Paloma, that she is a representative. She may very well be a Legit spokesperson, but she doesn't know how to string a sentence together. She doesn't have a logical thought in her head. When you have seen her on interviews in Mexico, in America, whether it's in English or in Spanish, she does not do well. She is a figure both in Mexico and in the United States, a notorious figure, an infamous figure, like the way that you liked the Garbage Pail Kids, you know, like the things that you admire about Chucky, the murderous doll.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that. The Joker. It's not because this is a woman that goes around doing acts of kindness and helping old ladies across that's not who she is. She became viral in Mexico for pushing a migrant child, physically assaulting a child, and making him pee his pants and bragging about it. This is a woman that has become infamous in the reporting of this investigator for the frauds that she's committed, for the thousands and thousands of dollars that she has managed to defraud people and or extort, threaten people out of. The stalking, of course. And a whole host of other very disturbing videos that she put out about herself and her husband committing fraud at the border and going and registering fake purchase orders with Mexican governmental institutions. So it's just the tip of the iceberg of what we found in connection to my reporting on a lot of these con artivists, cons involved with migration, with the caravan in particular. And now I'm focusing on her rapacious need to litigate against the people that dared to distance themselves from her. If you're in Paloma's life, you can never leave. And you can never leave. She realizes this after she has yet another action, another relationship, another interaction go bad, go south on her. She realizes, oh no, they know I'm crazy now. And oh no, oh crap, they have evidence of my craziness. However, will I shut them up? I have to start telling people before they release any of the information, audios, photos, etc., that they have on me, exposing all of my crazy, all of my freak flag to the rest of the world. I got to say that person is trying to kill me. I got to tell people that this person is crazy, that they're vindictive, that they're in love with me. They want my hair. Oh, they want my fame. They want my body. They want me. And that's why I have to get a restraining order against them. And if they talk in public, I will threaten to sue them. And this is the game that she plays. This is the game that she repeatedly has played over and over and over and over again. And I'm showing you the evidence of that through her own words, through her own restraining orders, through her own actions. Tonight will be no different. But I will start off by pushing back against the notion that this woman is a good representative of anything. In fact, I know that she is not. I believe that the interview that she is giving on the videos I will be sharing with you tonight were with a British radio station, possibly the BBC. I am not 100% certain, but I am going to share some of her ridiculous responses just as an example of how useless she is as a media representative, as a speaker of anything. She can't speak. She doesn't know how to talk. She doesn't know how to, logically put together ideas and make a good sound argument. She has none of those skills. And it is so noticeable. The person that is interviewing her becomes frustrated with her and cuts her off. And then, after that, you'll get to hear how this woman reacts. She realizes they cut her off, but it doesn't dawn on her why. Because you suck. Because you suck the air out of the room.
Yep.
Because they're paying to put your voice on the radio. They're putting your voice, interviewing you, and they realize, oh my God, this vapid vacuum. There is nothing but hot air being transmitted. There isn't an idea that makes sense. It doesn't respond. It's all over the place. And of course, you're going to get to see why. I mean, apart from the fact that she doesn't really represent anything. She's really out there just for herself. She thinks that looking attractive and wearing a Trump hat is going to win the day. But people can see through that. And they expect for there to be more substance than just a shell, That's what they're looking for. I think people today want substance, something that they feel they could actually stand behind. People are realizing this woman, Paloma, for Trump, is not for Trump. She's not for conservatives. She's not for conservative people. She's not for Latinos for Trump. She attacks all of the above. I believe that everything that she says she is and does is a projection of what she wishes she could be. And that all of the people, and I'm going to show you them, that she has been attacking are a long list of victims once upon a time whom she loved, whom she admired, whom she followed, whom she began to obsess about, and whom ended up on the retaliatory receiving end of a restraining order from Paloma. Mary Tando Quintanilla is only the latest in a string. But first, I want to thank everyone who has sent me information and made it possible for tonight's super chat. I know people were super excited to get an update, and I the goods. Tonight, I have the goods. It's not all the goods, but it's enough the goods. It's a lot of the goods. I'm going to try to keep tonight's show short and sweet. I am here to impart information to you. This is a public service announcement for all of those who want to avoid cons, frauds, liars, mentally unstable people like Paloma who go after the folks that they become obsessed and infatuated with. This is a warning to those who have not yet realized that that is what awaits them next. This is a warning for anyone who has any dealing with this person about what she will do to the people she calls friends. This is what she does to the people she calls her friends, her best friends. And of course, I want to thank everyone that's listening, that's sharing, because it is very, very important that we get your support in sharing this message far and wide so others don't go through the same thing we do.
Exactly. And welcome, everybody, to our super chat tonight. It's great that you're here. We're on the YouTube channel, Duke1517. We also broadcast on Facebook Lives at 88.1 FM, Fargo Moorhead. We also have the People's Press Project in Mexi-Can. If you want to send Cindy an email, you can send it to cindy@kpppfm.com. Or you can send me an email at duke@kpppfm.com. You can tweet us at media_PPP. Now, when you go to kpppfm.com, you can look at some of our shows. All of our shows are actually on there. You can go way back 3 years ago and listen to audio podcasts and look at the videos we put up. Not every show that we do through Super Chats ends up on the radio station locally, though, because some just have too many swear words. FCC still regulates language on the over-the-air radio. And so when I have a show that has a lot of profanity, like pretty much when Paloma's talking, it's really hard to edit that down, and we never want to miss one of those and air that on a local radio station. So you can find those shows at kpppfm.com. Also, when you're at kpppfm.com, go to the /donate tab and make a tax-deductible contribution to our organization. We are a nonprofit. We do local community work. We have a local FM station in Fargo Moorhead. We raise funds from our listeners, from our viewers, to run the station. And also, we do the live streams that are going international. I mean, we have people following us in Central America, Mexico, Canada, Australia, and Europe, and in the United States. And so, also, since we're doing a super chat, hit that little money sign and make a donation to our organization. Any funds received will be used for the organization's work. And it won't be going into people's pockets for things like shorts and pants. We make fun, and when you make fun of a public person, like Saturday Night Live, their whole shtick is about public people. And they can make fun of public people because public people are public. Sometimes we make fun of Paloma. And I guess I'm a public person too. I'm on the radio. I guess that makes me a public person. Sometimes people make fun of me. There was a picture posted where I was accused of wearing my boxer shorts during our broadcast, and I told people, those aren't boxer shorts. In fact, I have them right here. These are shorts from Guatemala. They've got pockets, they've got a drawstring. These are not boxer shorts. And there's this picture of me like this. I can't do it. Anyways, making fun of me that has boxer shorts. But I do have boxer shorts.
Ooh.
And this is a pair of my boxer shorts. These are my boxer shorts, okay? If I'm wearing those on camera, I am wearing my boxer shorts, okay? Mm-hmm. I just wanted to clear that up, and
the difference between boxers and
boxers
Shorts.
and shorts. And I'll wear those Guatemalan shorts again in the summer because it gets really hot here. It gets to over 100 degrees. It gets really hot in the studio. We can't run fans because it's a small studio and it makes too much noise, and we don't want that whirring noise behind us. So, we just have to suffer with the heat sometimes, and sometimes I'll wear shorts during a broadcast. Weather people do too. Lots of newscasters will wear shorts because all you see is their upper part of their body. So it's a thing in the industry that it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and I actually appreciate that you do that for me because, I'm very cold all the time.
Yeah.
So, what to me feels like a normal room temperature to Duke feels like it's like
boiling
hot, So, that keeps this studio from feeling like a meat locker, right?
Right.
A lot of the time. Anyway, it's fun. We're having a good, jab at the silliness of it all.
Yep.
In some cases. But, part of the reason why we need that break from the seriousness is because it is so harmful. The things that this woman has done, all the many people that have come on to interview with us, to share their experiences, to share the audios they have, the videos they have, the documentation, all of that. The latest, has been Mary Quintanilla. And once again, in my last show about the retaliatory restraining orders, I shared with you that she was not an acquaintance. And I showed you how Paloma actually enjoyed being with Mary and called her her best friend. Here is one of the many trips and pictures that Mary took with her. I think in all truth, Mary treated her in a way, as Paloma put it, that made her feel like she had a mother figure. That she constantly talked about the fact that Mary Tando Quintanilla had a daughter about her age, and that she tried to make everyone believe that Mary had some, unnatural need for Paloma because her own relationships with her own children were not very good. I also showed you that was a load of malarkey. Mary has children, has a family, lives and cares for full time for her adult granddaughter with a disability, who is a young woman that is bound to a wheelchair. Well, she's not bound to a wheelchair. She has to move herself around in different ways due to her muscle issues from cerebral palsy. And Mary has been continually caring for her since she was a little girl. Okay. She didn't take on this job of caring for her granddaughter last month or last year, or even in the last 5 years. She has been caring for this little girl. She's been caring for this woman now, who's in her 20s, since she was a little girl. And she has been doing it because she loves her granddaughter, and she also has rescue animals. I've told you about Mary. What I haven't told you about Paloma is that for as much as Paloma talks about all of the things that Mary had, she is coveting those things that she is now lost because of the way she handled her relationship, because of the way she flew off the handle when she couldn't manage to control and manipulate Mary Tando. When she felt betrayed by Mary Tando because Mary Tando had the audacity to take a picture with Paloma's now best buddy, Melinda Oporto.
Oh, yeah.
She screwed up the relationship. she can't help but assassinate, asphyxiate, act all, single white female on the people that she becomes obsessed with. And then we get to the filings. We get to the court filings. This is one of the ways in which it manifests. So in the latest round of these vexating litigations and retaliatory restraining orders, after Mary won the restraining order against Paloma, Paloma gleefully went out, lied and made a video celebrating the fact that she was going to go and get a restraining order against Mary, posted about it to boast. But of course, Mary went to Europe. She was on vacation. And if you know anything about the woman that stalks people on social media, especially when she can't see them in person anymore, she made sure to file an ex parte hearing, meaning an emergency hearing without the other party. Ex parte without the other party, basically. Mm-hmm. Because of the seriousness, because of the urgency, because of the emergency of the need for her to get a protective order in place now. That's basically what the ex parte means. And we know she filed it. Here is a screen capture of the website showing that she filed an ex parte hearing on the 18th, which is the same day, the very same day that Mary in Europe was notified via text that Paloma was having an emergency hearing. Now, just to put things into context for everybody, just so we're clear, on this day, on the day that Jean and Paloma are doing videos saying, yeah, I'm really busy today. I've got court. I've got to do things at the court. On the day that she is out there with Pimp Smirky Smirk at the courthouse, flashing her documents, they're celebrating. Yeah, we're here at the court to mess it up for Mary. Mary is in Europe, and it's also the date that she's supposed to show up for a court case against her in New Jersey.
Oh, Paloma, right? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Mm-hmm. In fact, her need to screw Mary over while she knows, because she stalks our shows and she's watching everything that we report on. She tries to threaten me with a restraining order, or me with a lawsuit, none of which she has been able to materialize. She's also threatened that she's going to release all of this information that will exonerate her. She's done none of it because she's full of crap. Because she's full of caca. Because she can't do none of it. All she can do is flap her mouth and tell people, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to play the audios. I'm going to show the proof. Yep. I could do so many things. Mm-hmm. I could do this. I could do that. And wait until I do this. I just had another plan of things I'm going to do. What if we report it to this person? What if we send that investigator over there? They ain't doing jack squat other than wasting the court's time and stalking people. That they do full time. And she is doing all of this talking and deflecting and lying because she needs to try to cover up her image. She's doing damage control at the basic level. She is worthless at doing anything else but doing live streams, lying to people, being a D-list actress that has appeared in no movies she's ever been able to produce for people, though she claims that her videos of her committing fraud with her husband are for some kind of a movie.
Yep.
And she won't be able to show you any evidence because she doesn't have it. She won't be able to exonerate any of the claims. She never addresses direct audios, direct videos, and things that show clearly with her own mouth hole that she is committing crimes. She won't address it. She won't deal with it. She won't go and stand before a court. She doesn't respect American courts. She doesn't respect American people. She attacks them. She's a serial litigator against Americans while the pendeja lives in Mexico. She tells the courts here in the United States, I live in Mexico. It is a hardship because this American decided to get a restraining order. I don't even live here in America. I live in Mexico. So that the court will grant her extensions, so that the courts will let her appear by phone, so that meanwhile, she's going to court against another victim, in this case Mary, to get an ex parte restraining order. So let me just break down for you what that means, because a lot of people don't understand what it means, okay? As I explained, ex parte means that you request that a hearing be held in an emergency fashion without the party that you are accusing present. So they have no way of defending themselves. They have no way of refuting anything you said. And in most hearings, when the party that is accused is not present, whether it's an ex parte hearing or not, the judge rules in favor of the restraining order because the other person isn't there. But I also told you that in the first restraining order issuance, which is usually a temporary one until a hearing can be set, they always err in favor of granting the restraining orders and don't do a lot of digging and don't do a lot of checking to make sure that the person that filed the restraining order told the truth about all of the questions that they answered for the restraining order and really has a case of harassment against them and it really does need protection from imminent threat. They don't really go into all of that. The court systems are overburdened specifically because of people like Paloma Zúñiga. And so they don't have time to do that. So the way that they do it is that they just err on the side of making the right decision that protects most of the people that need protecting most of the time. Voila. But then, even in the case of a temporary restraining order issued in favor of her, Paloma, against Mary, because it is ex parte, another hearing will have to be held in order to determine whether the information that was produced at the ex parte hearing is true. And of course you know, and of course by now Paloma knows, which is why she went and got the ex parte hearing, she's going to lose. This was the only win that she could find for herself. And sadly, it's really a pathetic one because on the same day that she is out there vindictively trying to get an ex parte hearing without Mary being present because she knows she's all the way in England having a much needed vacation, she runs into court and says, I need to have this hearing right now without the person I am accusing because I am an imminent threat of being physically harmed, harassed, and damaged right now. With Paloma knowing that Mary isn't even on the same continent as her.
Yeah, it's quite an abuse. It's quite an abuse of the system too. You know, what bugs me about it is that restraining orders haven't been around that long. You know, the courts used to not grant any protection for women who are being abused by their partners or husbands, and men could just get away with beating their wives. They developed the the restraining orders, orders for protection, to help victims that were in immediate danger. So it was developed in this way, really to protect somebody who is, going to be harmed or killed and beat up and, murdered. And what Paloma's doing is she's twisting that. She's using it for her own selfishness and means, and doing it in a retaliatory fashion. We went over the whole restraining order in our last show just the other day. Read through it page by page, and the harassment section talks about it's these long stories about things that have nothing to do with this harassment that she needs protection from. So I think it's horrible that someone would take a system that's developed to protect mainly women who are being abused and abusing that system for their own gain. And shame on you, Paloma. Well, I have to say thank you to Sophia, who made a $20 contribution. And Sophia says she is accusing you, Oscar, and Amy of paying to kill her. And her evidence is the anonymous video against her for pushing a migrant child.
The child she
What?
pushed?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, once again, her actions are making her think that we exposing them is a danger to her. This is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Oh, I just saw that. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, for Paws. $100 contribution. It says, hi, Lorraine Hernandez. I wonder, are you still supporting Paloma? Mm-hmm. Asking for a friend, LOL. Well, thank you very much for your generosity. We really, really appreciate it.
More will be coming to light. You supporting our station and our work means we can do more digging, more research, and more detailed shows. And we always bring the receipts. We put them into our shows, and we know people are using them in their court cases. Here's another little gem I have for all of you who are listening, who have court cases. See, we are showing you and documenting here on KPPPLP the pattern of behavior with evidence at every step of the way of the abusive nature and of the pattern of abuse over 6, 7, 8 victims, all of whom she has retaliatory restraining orders against. That she has taken out retaliatory restraining orders against. And that, coupled with the vexatious litigation clogging up the court system, could interest a district attorney or a state's attorney into charging her with criminal harassment or being a nuisance to the court in some other fashion, or a combination of criminal charges. And it would be very difficult on a normal Tuesday for a district attorney to go after such a case, given the fact that they would be having to gather information of the evidence, not only of her modus operandi in the cases, but of that pattern repeating itself over a number of cases, and have it all documented for them to be able to use and have it affect not only people that they represent, that they in their constituency, but people all around the country, such that maybe more than one district attorney might want to look into putting some different charges on this in a criminal court, not in a civil court. Because that could happen. That could happen, especially when you bring it all neatly wrapped up and say, watch the series on the court cases in the Mary Tando Quintanilla. I mean, it's 3 shows we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. Okay. And they're chock full of goodness. Remember, I was trained as a paralegal, and although it may be boring to some folks and take, that extra step of showing you all along the way what she does, what she says, how she does it, it's helpful for documenting the pattern over multiple people. And that might be useful to a district attorney or a state's attorney somewhere. And it would be up to the people that have been victimized by her in all of the different states in which she has victimized people to go and talk to their DAs, elected officials that might be able to look into whether or not they would be interested in putting some kind of charges on Paloma. It is totally worth looking into, and any citizen can do it. You can just go to your district attorney and complain. There's a problem. You even have sent questions to them about, procedures and things like that. And, if you write to them or you inquire, they usually respond. They're pretty responsive.
I've always gotten a response from the state's attorney or the attorney general even. I've taken things because they're supposed to serve the people. They're part of the justice system that serves the people. So they're there for you. If you're in their district, in their state, they are responsible to you. So if you have questions, you can always inquire. It's your constitutional right. It's also your right as a citizen and a community member to ask questions, get answers. So do that. I think that's great advice.
I think so too, because I think it has traction. Unlike the stupid advice that Paloma tells her followers, like in her recent video where she was begging people, especially any people that have law enforcement backgrounds or legal backgrounds, to please get a hold of her. Yeah. And for her other followers, come on, do some stalking and harassing on my behalf. I mean, it's the least you could do. Mm-hmm. I'm going to end up going to jail for stalking and harassing people, but y'all could be helping me out. You know how bad these people are that I have it out for right now. You could be helping me more. And you should be helping me more. That's what she was telling people.
Yep.
Or telling people to go to the FCC to report us and our station.
INS.
This woman.
Go to INS. She's reporting us to INS. I don't know why.
It's like she sends you to La Chingada, which is where she probably really wants most folks to go. She doesn't care about helping folks. I'm telling you a solution that's real. At the very least, the district attorney will be, you could tell him, and you could contact this reporter, this investigator, and she would be happy to give you all the raw material for your case because she has all of the evidence and she's collected it in these shows. If you don't want to watch the shows, I get it, But you know what? A lot of creative people out there, like the John Leone page, have taken sections of my videos that they think are important for evidence in other people's cases, and they post them in different places, and more power to you.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I put it all in one spot.
That's right. And I'd like to thank Eyes Wide Open True Crime. Made a $50 contribution to us and says, support independent journalists who bring raw truth like Cindy, Duke, Oscar, and Anthony. Thanks, Cindy and Duke. Well, thank you, Eyes Wide Open True Crime. We appreciate the support, and we appreciate that you're on board with us.
Man, is that true? Amen to that. Every bit of it. Anthony did amazing, groundbreaking reporting on the trains, the drones. Mm-hmm. My gosh, the things that he uncovered, nobody, I knew about things that were going on. I had never seen this stuff. I'm so thankful that I found BNN and that I found Oscar and that I found Anthony's work and that they were willing to work with me. Although I have to say, whether it's been in the Mexico side and the United States side, I have a lot of media partners in television and radio and on social media, and I'm grateful to find collaborators that have different parts of the puzzle. We're working different parts of the puzzle, and we're bringing you a very complete picture with a lot of clear, direct evidence so that you can make the best decisions about the security for your family, about what's going on with the caravans, about whether or not you should trust this person, and what you can do if you're a victim of people like Paloma. That's what we're here to bring you, Duke. Your thoughts?
Well, I want to thank Crazy Lady for making a $20 contribution. Keep up the great work. I think that's wonderful that you're supporting us. And thank you to all the people that are supporting us tonight. It really, really makes a difference in our work. The exposure of Paloma, this is our third show. We have a lot of other stuff to report on. I mean, we have some shows in the works that have nothing to do with Paloma. They have to do with other issues, other things that are really important for you to know about. We're working those up. We're going to have those on soon. We have lots and lots of material, including videos, screenshots, evidence to show different people who are out there scamming the system, the political system, all sorts of things. So you just got to hang in there. This is our third one, Paloma. Just because we have more information, we wanted to get it concisely out there around the court dates. So enjoy the show, and thank you for being here.
Yes. I want folks to look at some of the horrible things, just as a reminder that Paloma posted about not just Mary, because she didn't just attack Mary Tando and the person that Mary Tando took to Vegas, Alexa, who also interviewed with us on more than one occasion. She also had to post horrible things about this young woman, this disabled granddaughter of Mary Tando's. This is the post that she wrote about a neglected adult on her page. She always tries to do these indirect, very direct things where she's trying to get people's attention. And she says here, I have a special needs daughter by another woman named Deanna. She's reposting on her page, Paloma for Trump. This is Paloma for Trump page. Mm-hmm. Okay. She's using her page that is supposed to be in support of her and the president of this country to harass a Latino grandmother who takes care of her of her adult child, of her child with a disability, and compares her to somebody that is neglecting their child. And she says at the bottom of this post, talking about an adult child with a disability, as a matter of fact, she says, which, as a matter of fact, is the same exact situation as the neglected, abused adult I have been mentioning. And she's talking about that this person she's referring to can't walk, cannot talk. She drags herself on the ground. She has bone deformities everywhere. She accuses Mary of giving her drugs. She does take medications because she has epilepsy. She also makes accusations that Mary was obsessed with her. In this next one, special needs post continues, and she says that, Jasmine, and that's the name of the adult disabled daughter of Mary, or granddaughter, excuse me. Mary, that Jasmine could have had a chance to walk. Her cerebral palsy wouldn't be what it is if Paloma had been taking care of this child. We're led to believe that her what gives her the knowledge that she could have done different for Jasmine, because she's not a doctor, although she likes to play one on her live streams. She's not a mother. She's not a grandmother. From what I hear, she's not a very good care for her animals, from what Mary has told me. From what she overheard her own husband, Gene, told her about caring for others, especially children. So why does this woman think, and what authority makes her believe that she knows what medical diagnosis Jasmine would have, what medical condition she would be living in if she was taking care of her? Here in her third post, she goes on to say, okay, Now we get to the real meat and potatoes of why she's mad. Pretending you live like a movie star. Do you see how Paloma really feels Mary lives?
Yeah, yeah.
Pretending you live like a movie star, yet crying about not having money to pay your rent. But then again, she is a liar, so who knows? She doesn't believe that Mary isn't rich. She just looks like it. Or maybe she's lying and she does have wealth. Or are you just angry that you didn't get more of it? She says, very dramatic to be convincing. And just none of it makes any sense. Yes, why don't we talk about how you really are, Mary? And it breaks my heart to see what you did to that poor girl. I think her life could have been entirely different. Yeah, in Paloma's dreams, where she's a doctor. And where she actually has children and where she could take care of people like that. Mm-hmm. But, you know, she says, because instead you're so concerned about your eyebrows. She's angry about the way Mary looks. She's angry about her features, her makeup, her lifestyle, Mary's house, Mary's trips. In this other post in which she was, again, obsessively talking about this adult disabled granddaughter, she says, again accusing her of not taking proper care of her. She complains about how much she was paid.
Oh, boy.
She complains not that she was lied to about how much she would be paid or no. She just complains about the amount and a place to live. Quote unquote. Well, you were staying at Mary's house with your husband, so you don't understand how quotes work. Like, quotes are supposed to be used for things that aren't real, that are pretend.
Yeah.
Did you or did you not? Oh, wait, we have photos of you. Mm-hmm. We have your own writing telling people you were staying with Mary. We have your own audio saying that you love Mary, that Mary is your best friend. Your own words. Doesn't she understand how the truth works?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Go back to the post. I just want to make sure people see. She says, but it was as help to her. So, you know, she says that, and she says, I helped her twice so she could travel. No, so you could travel for free. So you could travel for free because you love to travel. And she says, but it was to help her so she could get a break. She tricked me about it. Tricked you? She paid your transport. She paid your hotel. She took you places you wouldn't have been able to go on your own. And she tricked you. How did she trick you? The first time and second time, she was desperate, wanting to go to D.C. to an event. She lives in a 2-story home with a disabled adult who's unable to walk. Boy, she wants that home. Boy, does she want this life. Mm-hmm. Stuffs her into 2-door sports cars instead of having the proper vehicle. Oh, you're mad that Mary doesn't drive around in some van that has like one of those chairlifts and lives a life of joy, of comfort, and has sports cars. That's what she's mad about. How dare she decide that her granddaughter should wear expensive shoes? Go on, look at what she wrote. Look at what she writes. What is she complaining about here? And then it says 20s and goes around the country looking for boyfriends. Can you go to the one before that?
Just a minute, please.
Okay. But no, you want to look. Is that the one before? Yes. Pretending like you're a movie star, crying about not having money. Yes. Okay. Look at here at the bottom of this one. It says, you could treat her differently, but no, you want her to look cool. Again, if she buys her nice clothes, and I've seen the way that Mary dresses her granddaughter and herself, they do look cool. They look beautiful, and the way she dresses her is wonderful. It does not, it's supposed to be in quotes, pendeja. With her 300 jacket and boots, she means $300.
Yeah.
She means with these expensive jackets and boots that she can't even keep on because her poor feet hurt so bad. No, you're just angry that Mary dresses her granddaughter, who can't even walk, in $300 shoes. That's what really irks you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you want your granddaughter to look cool, so you buy her really expensive clothes. Wow. Go back to what she says. She goes on to say, just like you struggle or say you do, and then spend hundreds on makeup and clothing. You can't get yourself to go to see a doctor and get help. You should be going to a doctor and not worrying about your eyebrows, and stop being rich or keep trying to be rich or trying to pretend like you're rich. Maybe you are rich. I don't know. You're not giving me your money. Prove you're rich by giving me more of your money. That's what I need. It's all right there, right? Mm-hmm. You can see that, can't you? She covets what she cannot have. God, I sound like a line from Silence of the Lambs, but it's true. And she is that nuts. She is that cray-cray. So go on to the next one. Now we're at special needs post. The one before that.
No, I just on that one.
No, that's the one we just saw. We need to go to the one before that. Okay. Goes around the country looking for boyfriends. So she's angry that a single grandmother would be available to have relationships if she wanted them. Really? Really? You have a place to speak from with you and your pimp husband? I don't know if you do. I don't think so. But she goes on, it was as help to her, blah, blah, blah. She's two-story home. Oh, and then she complains about the food she feeds to her granddaughter. She complains about the hygiene of the care for her granddaughter, such that she lets her sit alone in a tub for hours, drinking dirty bath water, that the water is full of feces, that she wears diapers because Mary won't take the time to give her water any other way. What?
That's weird.
Okay. So, it says that, is that the last one? We got more?
Oh, there's a bunch more.
Yes. Go on to the next one, please.
Let's jump up to...
Yes. So then she complains about the fact that she no longer wanted to be her maid or her servant or her caretaker or whatever. So she started accusing her of lying about what she said about her experience with Paloma's dogs. And she projects that Mary is upset that Paloma knows so much about her.
Oh.
And that she wouldn't move in with her. And that she wanted Paloma to sell her soul. Sell my soul to her. Read that. Look at it. It says right there. This woman is really crazy.
How do you do that?
Well, she thinks people are murdering her dogs without even knowing where she lives, which she claims nobody knows. Nobody knows where she lives. But then how did they murder your dogs, pendeja? And she says there again, She wanted me, but I am not for sale. I do not need you. I never will. And people will continue to know how abusive you are and what a liar you are. She wants people to know, nobody's going to believe you. So you might as well stop talking. Also, I'm going to tell people a bunch of stuff about you that hopefully you don't want people to know. And maybe that'll make you be quiet. And if it doesn't, that's why if Paloma has any information whatsoever that she thinks that she could use, anything whatsoever that she thinks that she can use to harm you, she will. That's what she does. In this last part, you may recall where the post came from was when she doctored this photo of Mary.
Right.
And she says, in a very threatening way, I mean it. I have nothing to fear or to hide, but you do. No, that's her projection. That's everything she does is all projection. And so is this recent post where she's saying that we, presumably I or Mary or whoever else has ever put a stop to her or exposed what she is, that we're trying to kill her. Huh. A woman named Berna comments that she liked Border Network News' Oscar Ramirez and also also likes Paloma, but she doesn't understand what the problem is, that the people that are viewing them just want news about what's going on in government, what's going on. And Paloma responds that she also used to like Oscar until she got to know him. No, don't get it twisted, folks. It's until they figured out you were cuckoo, until they got to know you. And then it says, he hired this woman. News people collaborate. I've collaborated with a lot of people. None of them are my employers. She just spouts things thinking that unfounded lies that she, spews all over the internet is equal to the truth backed up by evidence that we show you here on my program. But they're not the same. All of the things that she alleges here are just inventions of her mind. Mm-hmm. It says, I'm harassing her nonstop. I'm exposing you nonstop. I have the right to broadcast, investigate whatever I want, all the way up here in Minnesota. And as you've said many times, I had no reason. You claim every single other person that has exposed you had a reason, because they wanted your life, because they were jealous of you, because, and they're all people that you were obsessed with at one time. But since you never even knew who I wasn't on your radar, you didn't have a good reason to tell people, because she wants my hair. Yeah. No, it's like you can't make up a story about me. Mm-hmm. Not one that'll fit, not one that you can sell. So you had to tell people the truth. I don't have no reason, and she don't have no reason. That's right. It's just so that people can find out what a crazy liar you are.
That's right.
And expose you bit by bit with evidence and proof at every step of the way.
Mm-hmm. And I just have to break it up a little bit. I got a little bit behind because the show is so excellent, but I have to go backwards and read a few comments. And
do it.
Let's see, where are you?
Especially when it requires responsibility and care.
Yeah.
I'm reading some of the comments too.
Local girl made a $20 contribution. Thank you very much, local girl. And then before there was another comment. I just wanted to make sure it got out there. It's Sophia made a $10 contribution and said, only YouTube partners can use super chats. This is an earned privilege. You have to have a verified address, a real address, and report to the IRS. Yeah. YouTube, actually, it's Google. Through AdSense, sends 1099s for your earnings through YouTube. So it's taxable. So, Paloma's many times said, I can do super chats. I can do any time. Well, then do it. You have, 5,000 subscribers, do it. But that AdSense money won't go to a fictitious address, and there's accountability with it, too. And thank you for the contributions, by the way.
Thank you very much. Now, on a more serious note, I want you guys to listen to what this person who considers herself a spokesperson, an ambassador, a public figure, a media personality, what a stupid, vapid, non-responsive, non-sequitur answer she gave to this woman, asking her, as a resident of Tijuana, to tell this radio station, this radio program in Britain, why the caravans are affecting the people of Tijuana, aka herself as a community member. She doesn't know what to say. She sounds completely unable to tell, to respond in a way that makes sense. And I want you to pay attention to the very end. I apologize because once again, she is filming with, with a dark screen in this video. And I want you to pay real attention, special attention to this video, because she's doing this interview while she is enjoying the luxury and the comfort of staying at Mary's house.
Okay.
Or as Paloma would put it, staying at Mary's house while she was living there and while she was caring for Jasmine, the granddaughter. Not until the last 10 seconds of the video are you going to see an image. Just for a split second, you're going to see and hear something right at the very end of this first video. So here is Paloma answering questions on a radio show for a British radio station. I don't know for sure if it's the BBC. Might be. Listen to how stupidly she answers this question. Tell me whether or not you really think she's good at what she's doing. But also know what happens toward the end of the video. I'll point it out when it's over. Hit go. Play.
Maybe some influence in it. So they're in the wrong place where they're at right now. It's in an enclosed area. They're able to come out if they want to, but they choose not to because of fear. And because of the fear and they're really this undesired in Tijuana, they will never be able to mingle or migrate into the city like some of the people from Haiti or IT have done. And they came to work, and all of them are working. They were humble when they came, unlike these folks here.
You know, I was in Tijuana a couple of years ago, just before the presidential election of Donald Trump, and at that stage it was the influx of Haitians, and there was, I suppose, a resettling, shall we say, of their place within society. But Tijuana is known. I mean, it is a border city. It is also where people come when they try to make it across to the United States, Paloma. Why is this different, if it is?
I think we are at a time where the U.S. is already has a lot of political problems when it comes to illegal immigration. America is absolutely divided, as we were able to see from the victory of President Trump. So right now we're at a time where the Republican government in America is standing very strong by their decision of not allowing any more immigration, even in the form of seeking asylum. So what that does to the caravan right now that's coming in is that it puts them in a position where, okay, you came all the way from South America, from Honduras, and now you're in Tijuana, but you're not going to be able to cross. President Trump is going to take every measure to not let you cross, because that's what his policies are based upon.
So is this really about Mexico? Because the few days that I spent in Tijuana, which I have to say I really enjoyed that city, that people were trying to transit through, right? Is this that you're afraid people are going to stay in your city, that they won't get into the United States? Because what do you care, in a way, about what the States does, apart from because you're living in Mexico?
I am. I'm a Tijuana.
United States.
I'm a Tijuana resident, and that's my main concern right now, because I live in Tijuana. I already deal with, some crime, and we have a lot of other type of crime, and I know that half of these people don't have IDs on them. We don't know who they are. They roam around our streets. Once, if they stay and they're not able.
Okay. I just want to pause there. I'm going to have you rewind it, and I'm going to have you listen for what was Jean Nadim Faraon's desperate attempt, while he knows she is giving her answer on a live radio show interview, because something is happening in Mary's house right now, and he needs to tell her about it. So he has to get her attention. So he goes, "Sst." And she keeps talking nonsensically, as Paloma always does. Just keeps on right on going like nothing is happening. And he does it again. Sss. A little bit louder. And she keeps going. And then he does it a third time. Sss. Like, you hear it. You hear it almost like he's hissing right next to her now. And she stops right then. Like, oh, snap. Whatever it was he was trying to point out that just happened, that she needed to pay attention to, he got her to pay attention. Listen for it. Here it comes. We're gonna, solve this puzzle together, kids. Get ready. Here we go.
States.
I'm a Tijuana resident, and that's my main concern right now, because I live in Tijuana. I already deal with, some crime, and we have a lot of other type of crime, and I know that half of these people don't have IDs on them. We don't know who they are. They roam around our streets. Once, if they stay and they're not able, if they're not able to cross.
Okay. Now, I want you to rewind it again. And then I want you to put me on the camera so that we can listen together. And then you're going to hit play. And we're going to listen for those. Pss, 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 pss. Okay, ready? Here we go.
What the States does, apart from because you're living in Mexico.
I am. I'm a Tijuana.
United States.
I'm a Tijuana resident, and that's my main concern right now, because I live in Tijuana. I already deal with, some crime, and we have a lot of other type of crime, and I know that half of these people don't have IDs on them. We don't know who they are. They roam around our streets. Once, if they stay and they're not able. If they're not able to cross over to America, they're going to...
She says they're not able. He got her attention right then. And then she pauses and she repeats the last thing. They're not able. Here we go. Listen for it.
And they're not able... If they're not able to cross over to America, they're going to end up staying in Mexico.
And there we go. Now, let it go a little bit further. Let them see.
They don't see it right now.
What do you mean you can't see it right now? And aren't you playing the video anymore?
And I personally believe that they're going to cause a lot of problems for us. They can bring...
Okay, play that last 10 seconds again. Play those last 10 seconds.
They're going to end up staying in Mexico. And I personally
she's
believe
in the
that they're
kitchen.
going to cause a lot
You
of
see where she
problems
is?
for us.
She's in the kitchen. What just happened? Folks, let's go see. Here's the second video. Now, I want you to see what was there on the floor. Look at the next photograph that I have after BBC One. There is something on the floor here. What is it? You see that right there by the chair? That is a diaper. Here's another picture from that still. Go back and look at it for yourselves. Go back and look at it. I know it's moving. We showed you the end of it, of BBC One. Look at BBC One at the very end. Again, we're going to play that for you one more time. BBC One. And you'll be seeing the very end of the video where it appears that there is a diaper on the ground. There you go. Just from where it turns
America, they're going to end up staying in Mexico, and I personally believe that they're going to.
There's something right there. Did you see it? And there's a person. That's Jean's feet over there. Those are Jean's feet. There's a leg inside of those pants things there. Those are his feet. You see his feet with the black toes? Mm-hmm. Those are Jean's feet.
A lot of problems for us.
She's the one walking around holding that. So something just happened, and it has to do with Jasmine's diaper, which you can see is on the floor. Okay? Next clip. This is the continued interview of Paloma. Pay attention to the video on the screen. Pay very close attention to the feet on the ground in the rooms people are traversing through. Here we go.
Fair to say, the numbers were beginning to come down in latter years, but particularly drug cartels and gangs, it was known for that. There were some horrific incidents of murders that were very public as well within the city over the past few years. But what do you want to happen? I mean, is it the mayor that you want to take
There's
action?
A dog.
Is it the federal government? Talk me through a little, Roy, of what you want to see.
That's
what
Jean's
I would
feet.
like to see is Mexico take a very aggressive stance and deport these individuals, because they built Mexico, they were not built across the United States. And then on top of that,
they're in the bathroom now. Jean was walking alongside of her, holding the phone. You see her feet now. There's her feet with the painted toes, with the painted red toes. And where does she go? She leaves the bathroom and she's back in the kitchen now. You see the tile? There's the other diaper that we walked past. Now she's standing. She's propped the phone up on something in the kitchen. And now she's getting a diaper. She pulls the diaper out. Now Jasmine's foot comes into frame at the top. You can see it up there. You see it? And she comes back with the diaper. You can clearly see that's an adult diaper. And her red toenails are there. She is standing in the kitchen. Jasmine is also now standing next to her in the kitchen.
You will probably understand is the way that Americans have often, North Americans have often talked about Mexicans and people from Mexico.
Well,
notice that most of the time the other guy is the one answering questions and talking. And when she talks, she doesn't say anything coherent. Look at how much time is passing with this child waiting.
So you don't feel any.
She has still not changed this child's.
I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you mean.
Jumped in.
And I think right now we're just coming to a point where we may be starting to realize that legal way of doing things is probably the best, because if we don't, that just causes a lot of problems for everybody. And people are starting to realize that maybe his rhetoric is not necessarily what we thought it was. People, I know.
Rhetoric.
The way the President Trump's and the way he expressed himself about Mexican people, it may not necessarily, be.
She's like, who are you talking about?
Why did you pause it?
That's the end of it.
That's the end of it? Oh, there's one more. Yeah. That's right. Now, I know you guys have a lot of questions. I'm going to tell you something very, very sad about these videos. The videos do not answer all my questions. They actually leave me with more questions than they will answer. But what they will reveal to you, what they are revealing to you right now, isn't just that this person is not good at being a spokesperson or good at talking or answering questions or thinking logically or even being able to talk intelligently about this, the caravans, the president, or any other topic. But that, horrifyingly so, she is neglecting the care of Jasmine. I don't know if you've been doing the time here. I don't know if you've been paying attention to what's going on. But this woman is videotaping herself because she's there to do an interview. Just like when she was working, in air quotes, in Colorado and living in Colorado for a month and spent most of her time jerking off, playing with Jovi and Krista, and what else were they doing? Shutting down schools and getting the police called and damaging property, giving interviews. Her claim to fame is her ability to get on some show.
Yep.
That's it. That's the real reason she ever did Dr. Phil. Because she hopes one of these many times she will not just be a failed actress. She'll have some space in media in a permanent fashion. She has no skills, no saleable skills to do it. So that is what this is what she's left with. Rather than doing her job at this house and taking care of this adult person in exchange for pay, which she claims she received. Mm-hmm. And in exchange for living at this house and enjoying the comforts of this house with her husband. And this is what she's doing instead. She's doing interviews. He has to tell her, psst, psst, psst. The diaper's on the floor, which means Jasmine took the diaper off. Now let's just ponder for a minute why an adult who cannot walk, who cannot talk, who cannot care for themselves, and needs to use an adult diaper takes it off. Any guesses from you, Duke?
Time to change it.
Pretty logical, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seems logical to me.
Yep.
But also because whatever timetable you're supposed to be checking to make sure that this person is dry and clean on has failed. Mm-hmm. And there's nobody checking. And there's nobody making sure that this child is changed. So she had to let everyone know. Do you think it felt good for her to have to do that? To get to the point where they have to drop trow to get your attention? Do you? Is that a dignified thing?
Nope, it's not.
I know because I have had a lot of different disabled people in my family. In my extended family. And that is not dignified. What she is doing to this child is undignified. And it's not even the worst of what she's going to do. Seriously, if you have respect, love, care for disabled people, especially of this most vulnerable kind, nonverbal, non-mobile, the most vulnerable of the vulnerable, like a baby. Like a baby. Then, trigger alert. Major trigger alert. I will give you time to take a breather, go out of the room, have someone tell you about it later. Because you are about to be disturbed, seriously disturbed. I know I was. Okay, let's go back. I first want to just ensure that we all saw that they were in a toilet, right? Here's the toilet picture. And then here is Gene and Paloma, both in the bathroom. That's his feet. The ones with the socks with the black tips on the toe. And those are her red toenails. The child, the dirty diaper's on the floor. You can see it right there. And then this is the tile in the kitchen. This is the diaper and the foot of Paloma at the very bottom. You can see the tip of her red nail. And you can see the kitchen cabinet by her feet where she props up the phone to continue doing the interview. That those are her feet. Jasmine's foot in the kitchen is at the very, very top. And she doesn't have red toenails. You can see that clearly. So she's not changing Paloma in the privacy of a bedroom or a bathroom. Mm-hmm. She is changing her in the kitchen, obviously in the vicinity of where Gene is. Obviously, Gene had to alert her to the fact that this child had to drop the diaper. Now she's changing it. She opens the kitchen cabinet with the diaper in her hand. She opens the diaper, and then you can see in this last frame that right up at the very top, next to Jasmine's foot, while she continues doing the interview, look to how long into this. Go back to the open kitchen cabinet. At this point in the video, she props up the phone up there so she can continue doing the interview. And from that point until this point here in the video, she's still yapping and not changing the diaper. You know why? I can tell you that it's up there in the corner. You can see a little piece of it next to Jasmine's foot in frame. That little white thing. That's the diaper fluttering in the corner. Let me show you the diaper fluttering in the corner. In this next scene, she will conclude her interview after she nonsensically answers a question, probably for the last time that the woman interviewing her can stand. And she's like, sorry, I have to go. Thank you very much. And they basically end the interview and cut it off. Paloma, mid-sentence. Mid-sentence. And she goes ballistic. Take a look. Look at the top right corner where she's still holding that diaper.
It was, people
see how it's fluttering in the corner at the top there.
The way
she's not putting it on this child.
He expressed himself.
Did you notice that?
People. It may not necessarily, be a bad thing. As
made me wonder why that little diaper was up there fluttering in the corner.
I'm not a criminal.
Was Paloma waving it during her talk on the phone for emphasis?
That same sentiment that a lot of Americans have as far as not
was Jasmine trying to?
That's what you're seeing in Mexico right now.
Get her attention.
That sense of, you know what, I have to take care of my country first.
I have to go just because we're coming up against the news. So I want to thank Paloma and Roy for speaking to us. Perhaps we'll get to chat to you again. Francie, one and none.
Thanks very much, Paloma. I really appreciate it.
Now her foot
Thank you,
over.
Roy. Thank you. Nice meeting you yesterday.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
bbc.com/news to get the latest news stories anytime you like.
They fucking cut me off.
You hear that? She is mad that they cut her off. Do you hear that? Rewind so you can hear that one more time.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you. Nice meeting you yesterday.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
bbc.com/news to get the latest news stories anytime you like.
They fucking cut me off.
There it is. Now watch what's happening with Jasmine. With Jasmine's foot and her feet. You can hear her pulling on the tabs.
¿Qué, güey? ¿Quieres hacerlo tú o hazlo tú?
Right there. Right there.
No, le digo a ella, güey.
Listen.
¿Qué, güey? ¿Quieres hacerlo tú o hazlo tú?
¿Qué güey? ¿Quieres hacerlo tú? Hazlo tú. ¿Qué güey? ¿Quieres hacerlo tú? Hazlo tú. Do you know what that means, Duke?
No.
What, dummy? Among men, sometimes it is used as a colloquial term for dude. Like, dude. Like, man. Do you think she's talking like broski
No.
to this girl
No.
that she is caring for? Do you think she's saying it in the dude type of way? Because the other way that you use the word way, which literally means oxen, it's like the word for a dumb ox, is to call someone stupid.
Mm-hmm.
To call someone a dummy, basically. This is an adult disabled person. This is a woman with cerebral palsy that is nonverbal. She can't defend herself. She can't tell her grandma. I am sad to report that up until the time that I started doing these reports and exposing all of Paloma's lies, and I had asked Mary to send me, you know, I've asked for all these folks to send me things in order to prepare for my shows, and then it takes so long to go through all the material. By the time you get to them and you realize what's on there, you're like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. She had no idea. I had to tell this poor woman while she was in England that this is what Paloma said to your granddaughter. It means among bro dudes, dude. Or dummy. But listen to her tone. You think she's talking like, dude, hey, what's up? Listen to her tone. ¿Qué güey? ¿Lo quieres hacer tú? Listen one more time. What, dummy? Do you want to do it? This is a person who needs adult care. According to Paloma's posts, very intense care. She knows that Jasmine can't do it. What a cruel thing to ask a nonverbal person with cerebral palsy. What, stupid? You want to do it yourself? Listen for yourself.
¿Qué, güey? ¿Quieres hacerlo tú o hazlo tú?
What, dummy? You want to do it? Do it yourself. Now, immediately after this, and I need you to ride the hold on a second. We have a technical difficulty here. There we go. I need you to ride the sound bar over there, Duke, because Jean's voice is going to be a lot quieter, but maybe we can still hear it a little
It's all
bit.
the way up.
Okay, here we go.
No, le digo a ella, güey.
So, I don't know if you can hear this, but in the background, in the distance, you hear Jean saying something. He heard the tone with which Paloma directed herself at Jasmine. Along the lines of, are you yelling at me? Is that directed at me? And she says back to him, no, I'm talking to her, meaning Jasmine. Listen again. Play it again, Sam.
No, le digo a ella, güey. Está aquí como desesperada. Le digo, güey, ¿quieres poner tu propio pañal? Préstalo tú.
Okay. So she says to him, no, le digo a ella. And then she explains why she's yelling at Jasmine and not him. Sorry, you made a mistake. I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at the disabled adult that I'm supposed to be caring for that has cerebral palsy and that is nonverbal. That's who I'm yelling at. Because she's acting desperate. And there it is. Because she's acting desperate. Because she is desperate. Because in desperation, in her desperation, I asked her. She's acting desperate. You know what acting desperate was? She took off her own diaper because she wasn't getting it changed. She was trying to get her attention while Paloma was giving a stupid interview that didn't make sense to anybody, such that they cut her off. And then in order to take her anger out on this disabled woman, she humiliates her. And notice that she talks to her in this gutter Spanish, or calling her a dummy. Take your pick. You can read tone even if you don't understand Spanish, right? That she's telling her, what, you want to do it yourself? Do it yourself then. Oh, wait, you can't. She is mocking a disabled person. On tape. It's on tape. And then she tells Jean, no, don't worry, not yelling at you, yelling at the disabled adult. Because she's acting desperate. So I told her. So I asked her if she wants to do it herself. She's bragging, just like she bragged about making a child pee his pants. Do you remember her ever accepting that she pushed that child? She denied that till the cows came home. I did not. I didn't do it. I didn't know. I was for a film. No. And then when they showed her the footage up front, personal and close, and she could no longer deny. I apologized to him, and I apologized to the world, and I apologize. And I have other people write my apologies for me, so it looks like I apologized. And yet, here she is, telling Jean, hey, I just ripped on her because she was acting desperate. So if you are a disabled adult that has to go in your own diaper and sit in it because the person that was supposed to care for you won't take care of you, won't pay attention to you, such that you have to literally take your own diaper off in front of everyone to get their attention. And it's recorded that Jean is like, shh, 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 during the interview. Because you know the man would not risk interrupting her even if she makes no sense. Not when she's in her delusional land of being a media star and a public figure. He would rather cut off his own tongue. But he wasn't going to go and pick up those underwear with doo-doo in it. He didn't want to change the diaper. So he's like, hey, something's going on. They can walk around, and this guy lives with a woman that hoards dogs. He lives through that every day. He probably walks on dog crap everywhere all the time because they probably don't take care of those animals. We've seen a lot of evidence of that too. And you know that's going on. That doesn't faze him. But this got his attention, even though he knew he could be taking his life into his own hands if he interrupted Paloma. And he still dared to do it. He was like, psst, 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 psst. Got her attention. What did Paloma do? She made Jasmine wait. She's on an interview. So the child started to act desperate. How dare she begin to act desperate? That's why she got talked to that way. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about how this person ticks, I don't know, go back and watch the other dozen or so shows that I have done over the past months with interview after interview, audio after video after restraining order after report, report after report after report after report. I don't know. There's something missing that I don't think any amount of evidence is going to fulfill for a person that doesn't get this, doesn't understand what this means about her. Don't you think, Duke? Like, there are so many layers of this that are disgusting. And if you think about what she is putting Mary and her granddaughter through on social media, even to this day, knowing what she did to the granddaughter, knowing how she was just using Mary and obsessing and coveting. There are so many layers of the horrible. It's...
Yep.
Duke, your thoughts?
Well, it's it's evidence of her doing, basically abusing the adult grandchild, and to see that, and also we're not even done watching it. Cindy said what they were saying, but it's you can see the things on the floor, and also Paloma will probably think, well, that's no big deal. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? She didn't want to be doing that job. She resented doing that job, and she did terrible at doing that job. I mean, if you're going to put someone in the care of someone you love and someone that needs care, you try to pick someone that would actually do the care effectively and provide care. It's kind of like the evil stepsister. Once everybody's gone and it's like, oh, you were with me now, sweetie. It's just like Cinderella, the evil stepsisters step in.
And, once again, I'm sure she will try to spin this new evidence 10 ways to Sunday. I translated it wrong, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to finish letting you listen to the whole clip. Pendeja, once again, I don't know if she's going to try to tell you, now Gene and her are doing a movie about changing adult diapers, or a commercial about changing adult diapers. Maybe that's what this is all about.
Yep, uh-huh.
Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe she filmed herself doing a really crappy interview where she sounds like a pendeja and abusing an adult with a disability that is nonverbal for a movie. Maybe she can sell that stupid lie again.
Mm-hmm.
But just to make sure that everybody had a chance to listen and to hear it, I'm going to play the rest of it, and then I'm going to play it from the beginning to the end. Ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
Can you rewind that part right there? And then I'm going to put on my headphones and see if I can manage to hear what he's saying. I want you guys to listen.
No, le digo a ella, güey. Está aquí como desesperada. Le digo, güey, ¿quieres poner tu propio pañal? Préstalo tú. ¿Qué pedo? Mire, que se quitó el pañal.
Okay, so he says, ¿Qué pedo? Like, what, what the hell? Like, he's annoyed. You can hear in his tone, ¿Qué pedo? Is like, what the hell? And then you can hear him say, he took off, she took off. And then Paloma, in a loud voice, says, what? Because she took off her diaper? So, just to confirm, they're discussing the fact that they think it's messed up that Jasmine removed her diaper. And they confirm it with their own mouth holes. This is Jean and Paloma taping themselves committing crimes. Part 50. Okay? Go ahead.
Hold on, Jasmine. Hold on.
She said there, hold on, Jasmine, hold on. So she's still frustrated with Jasmine, and Jasmine is still frustrated, obviously, with her, with not being cared for in a timely fashion. Something, she said, empezó a brincar. La bajaron, la empezó a brincar. So, something, when we put her down, she began to jump. She began to jump.
Mi amor, esos pañales no sirven. Este pañal no sirve.
Then she says, my love, this diaper doesn't work. This diaper doesn't work.
A ver, aquí hay más, ¿no?
And then she says that there's more here, right? Remember, they're in the kitchen. This is not, I repeat, this is not the toilet. That's the kitchen cabinet that she opened earlier. Remember that? We talked about the fact that the diaper thing happened right there. Okay, let's go back. Let's rewind that. Right from the beginning. Here you go, the whole thing.
You know, people, I know, the way the President Trump's and the way he expressed himself about Mexican people, it may not necessarily, be a bad thing as Mexicans are starting to see. Not saying that Mexicans are criminals or rapists, or I'm not a criminal, I'm not a rapist, and I'm Mexican. But what I'm saying is that that same sentiment that a lot of Americans have as far as not letting people into their country, that's what you're seeing in Mexico right now. That sense of, you know what, I have to take care of my country first.
I have to go just because we're coming up against the news. But I want to thank Paloma and Roy for speaking to us. Perhaps we'll get to chat to you again. Francie, one and none.
Thanks very much, Paloma. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you. Nice meeting you yesterday.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
bbc.com/news to get the latest news stories anytime you like.
They fucking cut me off. ¿Qué, güey? ¿Quieres hacerlo tú o hazlo tú? No, le digo a ella, güey. Está aquí como desesperada. Le digo, güey, ¿quieres poner tu propio pañal? Quítalo tú. ¿Eh? Mire, que se quitó el pañal. Hold on, Jasmine. Hold on. Mi amor, esos pañales no sirven. Este pañal no sirve. A ver, aquí hay más, ¿no?
All right. There was no more sound, so I just want to move on and remind folks that this is the same person that in other filings, in retaliatory ways, has lied. In this one where Shapiro's restraining order appears. You can see this is the Shapiro restraining order from the Leone files. This is just a screenshot from that page. And maybe we don't have that. Here's... Oh.
I can try to find it.
We could just go to the next one, okay, and I will tell you what it says.
All right.
It was a post of one of the pages that she wrote in the case of Michael Shapiro, in which she asks for the information that she is providing to remain confidential, as she is friends with Christine Shapiro, the daughter of Michael, and that Christine is afraid of her father. So trying to pit Christine against her own father, I'm sure most of you have heard Christine's interview on my show, when she, who is also an adult with a disability that Paloma tried to take advantage of. Listen to the show. This isn't her first time doing this. This is part of a pattern of her behavior. And the way that she always becomes obsessed once found out to be a wackadoo and a stalker, and once rejected, she goes on to victimize herself and pretend that it is she that is being stalked, that is she that, And if you'll recall, with one of her early victims, Jimena Sanchez, now a Fox News reporter, Sports Fox, Paloma claimed originally that Jimena Sanchez used to come and she liked shopping at Paloma's store. Oh. John Leone wrote about that and shared pictures of that. We did a whole show about on the this store, which is really just like a hole in the wall. Looks like that had horrible, all monotone 80s orange day glow colors, and like a sign, the first two letters of which you couldn't even read because they made like everything about the marketing and strategy of the store is horrendous. And yet she claims that somebody as influential and as beautiful as Jimena and successful as Jimena Sanchez actually liked going and shopping at her store and became her stalker, not the other way around. And she wants you to believe this. At every single one of her cases and where she takes out restraining orders, as she has been doing against innocent people, she makes people believe she's, with a straight face, she can do this. Delusions of grandeur. You know, she can walk in and say, "Oh, I'm the one that's important here, not Jimena Sanchez. She's stalking me."
Yeah,
because I'm very important business person. I had my own store that she used to shop at. And then she became obsessed with me, and she became in love with my hair and my beauty. And she wants to be like me, not the other way around. Wannabe chichona, wannabe Pantene hair. Remember that? Mm-hmm. So that's the mentality that she brings to the restraining order that she took out. And this is the one that she took out against Veronica Rodriguez, who was a friend, probably a close friend of Jimena Sanchez. And the second one, let's just go through them very quickly. You'll see she claimed that this person was a co-worker. And then the third one, she says that at the date of the incident, which was on the 2nd of June, 2018, that's an important date, pay attention, that she was harassed by Veronica, and who else was present at the harassment? Jimena Sanchez and some unknown male. Then you go to the next one, and she claims that she, wants her to stay away from her. And the next one, she says that she feels that she's going to retaliate against her, so she's not going to tell her about taking out this restraining order. and do you see the pattern? She did the same, clicks the same boxes, tells the same lies. Next one, she says that Veronica and Jimena are together all the time. Yeah, they're friends.
Yeah.
I know you can't stand it when other people have them because you don't know what it's like to have real friends, because you become obsessed with them, and then you want to, hug them and squeeze them and pet them and name them Roger. You go cray. And then they need to get away from you. And she is showing that this woman who's on Fox News and travels everywhere, and, she's a model, that her and her friend Veronica are going from city to city stalking nobody, nowhere, Paloma.
Yeah.
The gigantic and infamous public figure.
Yeah.
Right. Next, you see that she claims that they kidnapped somebody. It just says kidnapping, okay?
Yeah.
Kidnapping and burned in 2016. Remember, these are things that in the video she did ranting about this. She claimed all these things happened in Mexico.
Yeah.
So America doesn't even have jurisdiction over what you're getting this restraining order out for.
Yeah.
According to you, those things happened in Mexico, and they happened years ago. And she is putting this on documents that she is getting for a restraining order in 2018. Here's the next one. She says they don't work together. And then next one. She was denied per statute requirements because Paloma apparently requested more time
I see.
to serve and was denied. Then,
Wow.
in this next restraining order for Jimena Sanchez,
Right.
let's go through that one very quickly.
I don't have anything more. Oh, man. I'm missing all this.
What?
Yep.
Oh, no, you can't be.
None of it's there.
No, you can't be because we put in the videos and everything, remember? Well, don't put in all of them. I will tell you what they are. There is a Jimena Sanchez restraining order, and then you have the stockings video. Remember,
Yeah,
you downloaded it? Yeah, you downloaded them. I told you I need all of these videos, and you downloaded them. You have them. So let me just share which one of these you need to get. Jimena 3, okay? Jimena 3. And while they are getting Jimena 3, while you're getting RO Jimena 3, I will be reading what it says, just so you know.
Are you talking about the video? RO Jimena 3 or
It's not a video, it's a picture, and I do want RO Jimena 3 because it's restraining order. What you're looking at there is Veronica stuff, so you need RO. RO. Yep. That's it. So she's talking here about this is for the Jimena Sanchez restraining order. Maybe on another date, on another show, I'll be able to show you the full document. But for today, I think what's important is to get to that one page, because we know how she checks all the other boxes, where she talks about what the reason is, what was describe the harassment thing, right? Describe the harassment. It says right there at the top of the page. What is it? Well, myself as well as a young model were kidnapped in Mexico. Just to be clear, she makes sure to let them know that all the stuff that this is based on happened in another country where the U.S. has no jurisdiction over something she has no proof of, although she says she has pictures of the pictures where they burned her hair. She's never showed them to anybody. These so-called pictures, which could be doctored or made up. Because, again, if she did file a crime, do you have a report? Do you have any proof? Do you have anything other than your cuckoo brain? No, you don't. So she just writes this stuff up, and because she pooped it onto a paper, that makes it true for her. That is how delusional she is. I have a restraining order against Jimena Sanchez based on my cuckoo flakes, so that must mean someone believes it. It must be real. And then she says all of the crazy things that she said in that video, that a criminal group in Mexico assaulted this model. Me and a young model, because we're both models. She's in the same boat as the model that's young and beautiful. They were attacked, and the other person's face was slashed with a knife, and she was assaulted in her house in Mexico City. But also me, I was also damaged. Were you kidnapped? Me and a young model, it says right there, myself as well as a young model were kidnapped in Mexico. What? You told people you were burned.
Yeah.
You never told people in that video you were kidnapped. You were kidnapped and they let you go? Who paid the ransom? Why didn't it show up on TV? You are full of crap. Or was it an alien abduction? Because I'll believe that. I will believe from your cuckoo brain that aliens abducted you. But that people abducted you along with a young model, because that's how you made it sound. And if that's not what you meant, then you don't know how to grammar. You don't know how to grammar. You don't know how to English. Go back to elementary school. Show them this. We're going to go through more of this, and we're going to show you again what she wrote about this, so that you can read it for yourself. Then she says, I have every reason to believe Jimena Sanchez is part of it. Part of it. All of this concoction, none of which I will prove, that you don't even have jurisdiction in, is something I sort of believe. Not 100%, but I'm going to go ahead and say I do. And this is because some of the people that did assault her, and so she acknowledges it wasn't Jimena, are close to her. Somebody that's close to her assaulted me, so that must mean she's in on it. This is the logic of cuckoo brain. And she says, I am in constant fear in Mexico. She didn't do this 50 years ago. She took this out in June of 2018. Least I remind you. She took out this restraining order in 2018 against Jimena Sanchez for things she claimed that Jimena might have been, pretty sure she could have been involved with in 2015, in 2016. And she says that, in Mexico, they need further evidence. So something that Mexican authorities can't pursue and that you don't have jurisdiction with, but that's the basis of the restraining order. That's the reason I have to take out a restraining order on her. And what normal mind does that even compute? And she goes on and says that I was assaulted, burned after the woman posted publicly that she wanted me burned, and I was. I want you to wash your hair. I want you to take a bath. But every time I see your videos, I can't tell that that's happening. Do they have some extra magical powers? Oh, yeah, that's right. You think Jimena's a witch. And that's why, again, all of this is projection. All of this is her way of showing what she's doing. She's making animal sacrifices. She's the one that's burning candles. She's the one that's hiring brujas and brujos and witches. She's the one that's practicing black magic. She's the one that associates with witches and black magic. She does these things to other people and then says, they're doing these things to me. And she thinks people will believe it. Can we go to any of these
Yep, everything's
graphics?
set.
Okay, well, let's go to the first one.
What do you mean? These
The
are good?
restraining order, Jimena, 0.
Nope, I don't have those. I put all the videos in.
Oh, okay, good. Well, at least we got the videos. Mm-hmm. But we don't have any of the restraining order ones except for the one that you put in, right?
Yep.
Can we put that one up?
Sure can.
That would be super cool. Whichever one you do have. 3. There you go. So just so that you can look at it for yourselves, take a screen capture for later, whatever. This is what she put into the restraining order. And she talks about she's afraid of going. I'm in constant fear in Mexico and have left Mexico entirely for this situation. Look at how she constantly lies. Look at how many times we've caught her lying about where she lives, where she resides, where she's afraid to be. What did she tell Mary? I can't go into Mexico. I'm scared. I need to be in the United States. And Mary offered her a place to stay. She talks about being afraid of being here because people are harassing her and stalking her in the United States. Where shall we send her? She can't be in Mexico. She can't be here. And it says there, I am now that I am the United States, I have seen them in 3 different cities of the U.S. I am a U.S. citizen. I have resided in America, Los Angeles, and New York my whole life. And it is disturbing. She loves...
She keeps on messing around with her residency.
Yeah.
I live in Mexico. I live in the United States. I live in Mexico. I live in the United States.
I live in Mexico. I live in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I think she lives... I don't think she lives...
I live in my car.
Yeah. So here's the video from the ones that you put in. The ones that we needed. There we go. First one. This is her on the day after she is stalking these women, bragging in a video she sent to a friend about getting a restraining order on Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, look for yourselves. This is her sending a video of the restraining order she just took out. And look at the date at the top. Go ahead and hit play whenever you want. It says June 4th on the right upper hand corner. It'll focus here in a minute. It says 6-4 at the top. This is Veronica Rodriguez. See that?
Thank you so much. I'm actually,
Paloma Zuniga took this restraining order out.
Oh.
And she took it out right after she was stalking. This is the stalking video. This is a video she recorded of herself. Go ahead. You can hit play.
You know what it is that I'm out here in LA chasing these bitches. And oh my God, girl, I've been all over them today and yesterday. It's so funny. They're fucking scared out of their minds. Oh my God, I have so much to share with you. This morning I'm driving on Sunset and they're having fucking lunch at Sunset Saddle Ranch. I get out, I start stalking them. Oh my God, it's so funny. And so they, you know, they're always gonna try to get me to back away somehow. And
So she says right there, we'll have to play it again, but she says, yesterday they were at the Saddle Ranch right there. No, not that far. Go ahead and hit play. She's talking about stalking them. Go ahead.
Oh my God, I have so much to share with you. This morning I'm driving on Sunset and they're having fucking lunch at Sunset Saddle Ranch. I get out, I start stalking them. Oh my God, it's so funny. And so they, you know, they're always gonna try to get me to back away somehow. And you know, so yeah, so they're you know, they're gonna try to find you enemies. I really don't have enemies other than her. So what's someone that can bother me, that can drain my energy? Well, something like this fucking idiot. I'm not gonna let it. I'm in LA. I'm focusing on la pinche puta enana sotaca. You know, wanna be chichona, wanna be fucking, you know, Pantene hair, and that's my focus. And I'm not gonna let this guy bother me because she's my focus. You know, but that. You know what it is that I'm out here in LA chasing these bitches. And oh my God, girl, I've been all over them today and yesterday. It's so funny. They're fucking scared out of their minds. Oh my God, I have so much to share with you. This morning I'm driving on Sunset and they're having fucking lunch at Sunset Saddle Ranch. I get out, I start stalking them. Oh my God, it's so funny. And so they, you know, they're always gonna try to get me to back away somehow. And you know, so yeah, so you know, they're gonna try to find you enemies. I really don't have enemies other than her. So what's someone that can bother me, that can drain my energy? Well, something like this fucking idiot. I'm not gonna let it. I'm in LA. I'm focusing on la pinche puta enana sotaca. You know, wanna be chichona, wanna be fucking, you know, Pantene hair, and that's my focus. And I'm not gonna let this guy bother me because she's my focus. You know, but
That's her focus. That's her focus. The wannabe Pantene hair, the wanna be this, the wanna pretend that. Do you see how she uses the same language? Mm-hmm. Mary is a pretend wannabe rich lady with her nice makeup. And then she's sharing photos of her stalking the hotel. This is the photo of her stalking the hotel. This is the video. Sorry, the photo. Here's the. Okay, you do have it. That's the picture she took from across the street, and she's laughing. And she's making, there's two of them. There are two of them, Jimena Sanchez and Veronica. They're together. Remember, she takes out a restraining order against each one of them. And they're together. And here she is laughing about being outside of their hotel and stalking them. This is another audio, a separate, look at, morning, noon, and night. What were they having? They were having breakfast, and I got out and I'm stalking them. Here's the hotel stalking video. Here we go.
Across the street, like on Sunset. You know, one of the meters. Girl, it's an 18-story fucking hotel. 18 stories high, okay? Do you know how many fucking rooms there must be? There must be at least, what, 300 rooms in 18 fucking stories? They get the room on the first floor overlooking my car. Out of all fucking chances. I don't know if that was good or bad. I think that was good. But, so here you have me stalking them and them looking at me out the window. They're staring at each other like they could have gotten this, you know, a room on the 7th floor, 8th floor, fucking 17th floor. No, they got room 102 on the first fucking floor, overlooking my car, looking out the window saying, oh, look at her, she's stalking us. She's like...
No matter how dark, no matter how evil, no matter how big of a lie you think Paloma is telling, it's always worse than that. Because behind it, they're over there, they're scared to death. She gleefully talks about how she terrorizes other people. I make these people scared to death. I terrorize them. Ha ha ha. They're sitting there looking at me and I'm stalking them.
Wow.
And then when you realize what she has done is covet, is gold dig, and is try to destroy when they don't want you anymore tactics. Mm-hmm. That always lead to another court date. It's like that's the last way that she can continue to embroil herself in these people's lives is to keep dragging them into court. And to keep the cycle going so she can continue to feed her obsession. Folks, I hope that this has been an eye-opening